Hi there. I recently realized I was having a real difficult time with my tailstock, something that I shouldn't have a problem with at all. I found that I could barely turn this thing out, and retracting it was virtually impossible. It was almost like having to use two hands to do it. So I decided to figure out how to take this apart and do a little maintenance on it. And I realized this is going to be specific to my lathe, which is the Nova DVR XP. But I'm hoping that it can be general enough that anybody else out there can figure out a way to take his or her tailstock apart, check it out, maintain it, put it back together, and have it working a little more effectively. So I'm going to take this over, put it back on the lathe so it's held there more firmly. It's already been cleaned up, so I can't show you removing all the grime that was in there, but it'll give you an idea just how to do it. So let's go over to the lathe and take a look at this. Alright, the first thing I want to do is to remove the quill. Now, I'm not even sure about my terminology, but I think this is called the quill. And of course that's the part that you use to put your live center in, your Jacob's chuck, or whatever you want to use. Once this is out, when I first did this, this was absolutely packed with grease, grime, sawdust. And I just took a wire brush. I took this outside to do it so I didn't have this crap all over my shop. And I just brushed it out as well as I could. And the residue that was still in there, I simply wrapped a shop towel around it and turned it, and all the stuff ended up in the shop towel. There's even still some in there. Now once this piece is out, you can just lift this cam operated piece out and get it out of the way. And the next part is to remove this handle. I'm sure that each lathe is going to have a different method for taking things apart. In this one, down in this slot, there is a keeper ring. And to remove that, I have to remove a set screw that is going through here and squeezing against that so it can't move. To do that, I have to go in this hole that's opposite the handle and find that set screw. I'm using a 3mm Allen wrench. All right, there it is. And now I have to spin that out of there. Now that the set screw is out of there, I have to get that keeper ring out. To remove the keeper ring, I'm just using an Allen key. I think it's 2.5mm or possibly a 1/8 inch. I'm not sure if it's metric or not. And when I first took it out, it was very difficult. This was in there pretty seized up. Hoping it's going to come out a little more easily this time. And of course it's not. Now that I've got underneath there, I should be able to pry with this. Get it to come up here. And now that this little keeper ring is out, it needs to be cleaned again. And that will allow me to remove the handle. And when I first took this out, it was also really full of debris, sawdust. It's amazing how much sawdust gets in everything, as all woodworkers know. So now the process is simply to put it back together. But to do this, I had cleaned out these. I have a round wire brush around here that now I can't locate, but I was able to stick that in there and spin a lot of the junk out of there. Then just push a shop towel down inside and eventually clean it out properly. Now I just have to reverse everything to put it back together. And I did a little bit of research online regarding what to do to lubricate this, what I should use. And I found a fellow who had done some real good testing on thread lubricants, and his conclusion was that the best thing to use is WD-40, and I happen to be a big fan of WD-40. Now, with the keeper ring put back in place, I put the set screw back in so that this won't come out, and I'm ready to reassemble the rest. I'll put a shop towel to protect the bedways. Everything has to be cleaned. As you can see, I've got it all nice and shiny again. Put that back in, and before I put this in, I'm just going to spray it with WD-40 just for a little lubrication. And I remember years ago there was an ad on TV for WD-40, and it said, "For anything that sticks or squeaks." One thing, I do believe that WD-40 may just attract dust a little bit. And if WD-40 does in fact attract dust, that's just one more reason to make sure that this is done frequently. So I'm going to set up a reminder for myself to make sure I do this at least every couple of months and keep it nice and clean. That is working so much better. Well, I'm real pleased with how well this works now. Just a little bit of cleaning up, maintaining things can make such a big difference. I wish I had done this probably 2 years ago. Now I want to try to remember to do this every few months and keep it in this kind of working order. I hope this has helped somebody out there figure out how to do theirs, maintain things. It's really important to maintain our equipment so it doesn't break down, and it costs a lot of money to replace something like a tailstock. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll come back next time. In the meantime, have a good day in your shop. Be safe. Don't forget to subscribe and take care of yourself. Bye-bye now.